Hello everyone. So now I'd like to cover some news from Ukrainian news media that I consider maybe interesting for Western public. Let's begin with this one. Polish Consulate General that is situated in Kharkov reports that in 2016 it gave 126,000 visas to Ukrainian people, and 70% of them are working visas. And they say that the number of visas to Poland are being increased dramatically for the last 2 or 3 years. It gives an example. In 2013, that is before Maidan, 51,000 visas a year was given. In 2014, 60,000. In 2015, 72,000. So what this indicates, to let you know, Poland is neighboring country with Ukraine, and Ukrainians were often going there to work even before this whole situation. But now, as economical situation in Ukraine is getting worse and worse every year, more and more Ukrainians tend to go to Poland, and even some of my friends and the ones I was studying in college with are now in Poland, and one of my classmates that is he was learning foreign languages in college and university, now switched to Polish language because it's highly requested in Ukraine, and it's not very hard to learn for Ukrainian people because it has a lot of common with Ukrainian language. So here you go. This news is about United States. So they're covering the situation that California wants to exit the United States, and so they're telling that there's a site, Yes California, and they're collecting signatures to exit the United States, and they're tying it with Donald Trump's becoming president. Another article is also about Donald Trump. In this article, they're covering different scenarios of impeachment of Donald Trump. So what they are saying, that Donald Trump just took the office and he already is under danger of being impeached, and they're covering 7 different ways or sources of this impeachment. Who might initiate it, who might support it, blah 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 blah. The blockade of Donbass. So these news are on different sites, news sites. So what they're talking about is that recently railroads between Donbass territory that is not under control of Ukraine government and the part of Donbass and other Ukraine that is under control of Ukraine government are being blocked now by people that are claimed to be veterans of the anti-terroristic operation that is being carried out by Ukrainian government. So these guys, they were fighting a war in Donbass, and now they're somehow, I don't know, deserted, or they are on leave, or I don't know. So they are blocking railroads. For you to understand, the economical ties between Donbass and other parts of Ukraine are still pretty strong. So even though it is not under control of Ukraine's government, there are still some companies that trade or exchange goods and services with Ukrainian companies. And because there are a lot of mines and metallurgical companies, so freight trains go there and here and there, from one side to another. So these guys are now building block posts near those railroads on the border lines, and they're stopping those trains. There are even reports about gunfire on those block posts. The article says that gunfire was heard recently, and it was because one of the trains tried to pass this block post and they opened gunfire to stop it, and now it's stopped near this block post, and they are now planning to weld it to the rails so that it cannot move anywhere. The situation is similar to that was, I think, 1.5 years ago in Crimea. So the Crimea was already under Russia's control, and some activists in Ukraine were blocking roads to Crimea to prevent some goods, food mainly, to travel to Crimea. This is a very interesting situation. So they are claiming that Crimea is Ukraine and there are Ukrainian people, that Donbass is Ukraine and Ukrainian people are there, but they are blocking these roads and railroads basically to make those people feel worse. This is a very interesting article from the news program Facts. It says about local people in Donbass that are living on the territory that is under Ukraine's control, and that they are helping Donbass militia, rebels, or the way you call them, by telling them information about the location of the blog posts and I know warehouses of the Ukrainian military on their territory. So basically it says that Ukrainian people on the Ukrainian territory controlled by Ukraine are helping Donbass military people. So it debunks all those stories that everyone who supports this Donbass rebel are just Russian agents, and this clearly indicates that they are Ukrainian people, and it's truly a civil war, not fight between Russia and Ukraine. Because you know, if Russia would attack Ukraine, Russia is so much bigger and more powerful, it would not be too long. Oh, another article about Russian military. So, Ukrainian Defense Ministry thinks that Russia might use new mobile division in Donbass. They think. So, what it is about that a new Russian mobile division that is being formed in Rostov region of Russia, which is close to Ukraine, and it has 10,500 people, might be used to support rebels in Donbass. What are their proofs? There are none. They're just saying that we know that there is such military formation and it is close to Ukraine, so yeah, we think it will be used on Donbass. It's just what we think. Oh, that's very different, very interesting story. So this man is Anton Gerashchenko. He is Ukrainian Inner Affairs Secretary's counselor. And so he is telling that Russian secret services are working to destabilize situation in Ukraine and to increase the crime rates in Ukraine. It's like, you know, thousands of Russian agents infiltrate cities all over Ukraine and, you know, robbing grandmas and I know, selling alcohol to minors, selling drugs, I don't know, beating people on the streets. What it exactly says? And spreading the anti-Semitic moods in Ukraine also. So here's a quote. You probably know that in November there were news that a pig's head was thrown on the grave of one Jew in city of Uman, and in Chernovtsi, when the Israeli Knesset speaker was visiting the city, there were anti-Semitic writings everywhere on the walls, on the fences, and also in November and December some anti-Semitic books were found spreading on the territory of Ukraine. And so he claims that it's not a coincidence and it's a planned operation, action by the Russian FSB just to, I don't know, spread chaos in Ukraine. It's like, I don't know, it's like in the US when, you know, this hashtag, Russians did it. Trump is being elected, Russians did it. Hillary's emails were stolen, Russia did it. Hillary is being founded by Saudi Arabians and Chinese, and Russians did it too. So this man who is responsible, who works in the Inner Affairs Ministry that is responsible for law and order in Ukraine says basically that it's not his fault that crime rates in Ukraine are growing rapidly. It's all Russians. Well, here you are. Those news that I found interesting. See you next time.